Thoughtless casual gaming. Thoughtless casual gaming. Thoughtless casual gaming. Thoughtless casual gaming.
Oh, where
No,
are we
it's
going?
over there.
Yeah, see what I mean? The new dark skin confuses me.
I was looking in the middle and nothing was happening.
Yeah.
I guess we're recording now, are we?
I think so. I think that's what it means.
Oh, okay. Well, let's give it a go. Hello, you are listening to Thoughtless Casual Gaming with Brett and Jace. We are a Geelong-based gaming podcast where we play some games, usually badly, and then talk about how bad we are at those games.
I mean, when you say usually badly, I'm saying that's basically the only sure thing we have.
Well, yeah, like it's all we've got going for us. Let's
Consistency.
that
It's key.
give us that at least. We're here today not to talk about games, but to talk about a recent painting event that we had. We placed it on the socials, on the Facebooks, on the Instas, on the Twitters, on the... No, we don't have Twitter.
No.
No,
We also
I'm not
don't
a
have
Twitter
TikTok.
person.
I'm not. I just. I
I
know
don't
lots
tweet.
of people are, but I don't get it. You think it's tweet? Is it tweet? I don't care. I also don't tick, nor do I talk. I neither snap nor chat.
No, likewise. So we put
Actually,
it on
that's a
the...
lie.
Oh,
My children would tell you that I snap
okay.
very frequently, but
And we're here to chat. So we put it on all the socials that we are a part of and that we deem worthy. And we chucked it on the Discord, and what we ran, we called it Thoughtless Linepeople. So we've been talking a bit about Blood Bowl. We were starting up the current season of Thoughtless Sevens, which is currently running. It's about 3 or 4 games in, 3 games or 2 games, depending on who you are. And we thought we'd celebrate that with asking people to paint up a line person. Male or female, we don't discriminate.
no. But we did specify person, which is maybe misleading in the fantasy realm that is Blood Bowl.
Well,
I
we had
mean,
some non-people entries.
yeah, and I mean, and we allowed all of those. I want
Yes.
that to go on record. None of those well, that's a lie. At least 2 of those non-people entries were disqualified. But we'll come to that.
We'll come to that. Why don't we didn't put any other rules, regulations, prerequisites on it. We didn't want to, it just had to be a line person.
And the big call out there is, just a regular, just average Joe slumming it. The thing is, I mean, often people are painting teams for this. They've got set team colors, so we didn't want to mess with that. We didn't want to mess with, telling people that they suddenly need to paint a random bright green guy when they've got a team of, red jerseys or anything like that. We didn't want to do that. So just paint them. Just do the thing. And fortunately, there'll be both Blood Bowl leagues and events that you could use them in if you get your act together and paint the rest of the team too. Or don't.
Or don't. Who are we? We're not your parents. We don't tell you what to do.
Yeah.
We advise. We can recommend, let's say.
Yeah. Suggest, influence, peer pressure.
Aggressively suggest.
Yeah. I mean, I've been told I'm aggressively suggestive at the best of times.
So it's not a painting event if we don't get involved, because who are we to tell you what to do if we don't do it ourselves? So,
yeah. So when we run the jump off a cliff painting event,
oh yeah, you have to be painting as you jump. We will be totally 100% there, leading the charge. We might not be there to announce the winners, but whatever. Do you want to talk about what you did, Jace?
Yeah, I mean, I I had a lot of options. There were so many goddamn options. But I have gone a little bit batshit crazy painting teams for the last couple of months. So
Just a little.
I just thought only a fraction. Um, so I actually, if we look at the entry that I physically put into the chat and recorded on the internet and in the event and all those things, I was painting lizardmen,
Mhm.
specifically the Grebo lizardmen team, which is glorious. They are beautiful models. They are also the ones I have at least metal. They've now upgraded most of theirs to resin, but I still have the metal ones. And each of the models that isn't a skink weighs a metric ton. The assembly involved a lot of swearing and a lot of gluing fingers together and all that jazz. Um, but once they
All
were
the
together,
usual.
it's happy days. It's happy days. Oh my God, they're so goddamn heavy. They're chunky boys. Anyway, we're not here to talk about them. We're here to talk about the line people. I've been exceptionally, I mean, when I say I've gone batshit crazy painting teams, yes, but also I've been selectively lazy and only painted sevens rosters for said teams.
Also fair.
So, when I painted those lizardmen, I literally went, right, well, I'm running a Croxagore because they're cool. So I put him in, and then I put 3 Saurus in, and then I went, and 3 Skinks. There's a roster. Here
Yeah.
I go. So that's what I painted.
Technically, you
And
only
then
needed to paint one of those.
I know, but I did them, and then I finished them, and then uh, Mike in the league is running humans, but he still had his humans on back order. So I pulled out a human team and I painted a sevens roster for that. So there's linemen for that, and then
There was an issue there too. So Mike won at Thoughtless Bowl 2. We ran a competition to win a team of your choice. Mike won that and chose humans as his team of choice. Of course, GW didn't then have humans in stock for 27 months or whatever it was.
so they've been on back order.
He's got them now.
He does have them now, but to try and support him through the first couple of games of the league, I went, well, I've got a human team, so you can borrow them. Oh, but they're unpainted. Here, let me fix that. So week 1, so in the first game, they were unpainted, and I didn't appreciate it. And then so by his second game, I had them done. So there was another lineman there, and then JB is running Skaven, but he didn't have his Skaven there. But I had a Skaven team, but they weren't painted. But they also weren't painted. And the first game was very confusing because he played Gertzy, who was also running Skaven, who were also base coated brown, and it was very confusing to see whose was whose. So between their game 1s and 2, I painted a Skaven's roster, and then what was the last one?
Nurgle?
Oh yeah, Nurgle, because I decided how much I loved painting the Grebo models, and I had a Grebo Nurgle team sitting here completely unpainted, and I just decided that I desperately need to do them. So that's been my last sort of couple of weeks work. So long story short is in the 2 months that we've been running this, I've painted 4 sevens teams.
Overachiever.
But again, sevens rosters, they go together quick. And both the Skaven and the humans are not particularly teams I have an interest in playing. So I took an opportunity to just try some different techniques. We went full slap chop. And so for anyone who is curious about that, I will just give a really quick summary. There is a much better video somewhere on YouTube by someone else that's better than me about this technique he's calling slap chop. But the premise is you paint it black, you dry brush the shit out of it, and then you smash contrast paints over it. And because contrast paints are transparent, you can then it shows all the gradients and everything that you've painted under them, which is it's great. So I did that for the humans. I went a little bit more excited for the positions and gave them some more highlights and stuff. And I definitely suggest that for future use, which is basically what I did for the Skaven. And they go together so quickly. It's stupid quick.
That's good to know, because that's kind of how I was planning on doing my Dungeon Bowl team.
So fast. It's glorious. It just gets shit done. But the ones I'm here to talk about is really the Lisbon. So we'll go back to that. Let's rewind. Let's just delete all of that middle bit.
You're editing.
I can't. No, that's not going to happen then. I really can't take credit for these because A, the sculpts are gorgeous and do most of the work for you, and B, I stole the paint scheme completely. I think it's Little Legend Studios did the official one. It's much better than mine, but they probably charged more than I did. Who painted it for nothing because it was mine. So super fun, and it was the basic premise was sort of like a red / magenta from the bottom, a blue from the top, and then paint in the detail. So they all got that treatment. And then I painted in a bunch of detail, and then I smashed an oil wash over the whole thing and called it done.
Seems fair.
They just when the sculpts are that nice, they do all the work for you. So I was actually really happy with how they came out. So I feel like that will be an ongoing, sort of A, I want to get it done, but B, I also want it to look pretty. I think that's probably the approach I'll take. If I just want to get it done and I just want it to look okay, we'll go slap chop and just contrast things. Because I think it does the job, but I think this way just goes that little bit further. It was nice. And I'm really enjoying putting oils over things. It does so much work that I don't then have to do. So yeah, that was basically my premise. So I mean, I did the 3 skinks for the lizards. They were all ready for all systems go until we had even numbers of players, and then they went back in the box. And I haven't played a game with them yet.
But they're done.
But they are painted, and they were painted for the thing. And I put a finished, or basically finished photo in the social things, and that's it. That's me.
That's fair. Well, talking about the league, my team this season is something I'm not used to playing. I'm so used to playing the big bashy teams. And forcing my way through for touchdowns. And to try and test myself a little bit, I decided to play a Wood Elf team because I don't know how to play agility teams.
The least bashy of the bashies.
I know. So I got myself an Elven Union team because I like the models better, and then I stuck 40k Harlequin heads on each of them.
Love it.
And I figured that team can now be used for Wood Elves, High Elves, Elven Union, whatever elf I want.
I mean, you can run with Dark Elves, that'd work.
Technically could. Anyway, so I've got that, and I called the team the Rainbow Connection because I figured, Harlequin heads, let's make them somewhat colourful. So I gave them all white armor, but then the clothing underneath is a different color for every single model. So I played around with a lot of contrast paints and then layering up over the top, but I did a different color for every player. I used some of the new contrast paints too. So in particular, Aeldari Emerald, which is a beautiful emerald color. Doomfire Magenta, which worked really well coming up to pink, and Luxian Purple, which was so much better purple than the previous contrast purples, which weren't really purple in the first place.
No.
But yeah, just slap some contrast on each different area, layered each area up with the appropriate color. Sometimes it was a bit of a guessing game as to, because the way that I find with contrast is a lot of times when you layer, you can pick the Citadel color that they've used as the base.
Yeah.
And so when you layer that on, it just doesn't seem to change it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one or two times I might put a paint on and thought, no, that's exactly the same. But so I got the team done. By the end of the event, I had finished 4 linemen because wood elves are expensive. I had also done the blitzer, thrower, and catcher that I have. Since then, I have played 2 games and bought myself not a blitzer, a war dancer. So I bought myself a second war dancer.
You've got the pair.
I've got the pair, and I have, as of a couple of days ago, finished, I think it was yesterday actually, finished off the entire 12 models that come in the box. So they're all a different color. They're ready to go, or 8 of them will be used. The other
Did
4,
anyone eventually get to be Mr. Black?
No, I didn't go Mr. Black because I was using black like sashes for them.
Yeah, okay.
White armor, black sashes.
Yeah.
I did struggle by the end of it to choose some colors because I've got an emerald and I've got a green. I've got a pink and I've got a red. I've got a purple and an indigo. Like there were some very close colors.
Yeah.
Right. So the last 2 are grey
Mm-hmm.
because why not? And a nice shit brown because why not?
Okay. Because, well, I mean, effectively, what you only get really 7 colors if you just go full.
Yeah, look. So what have I got? A yellow.
So you got to get creative.
Yellow, orange, red, pink, emerald, green, blue, dark blue. So light blue, dark blue.
I respect all of this.
Yeah, and a light purple, dark purple.
Did we find appropriate names for all of the colors?
For the players?
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm naming them. Well,
all 12?
I didn't go as far as naming 12 of them. I'm naming them after songs. So I've got 8 of them done. 8 of the 12 have got names. The other ones I can come up with names pretty easily. I think I had 2 catchers in the initial roster. So what that other catcher has a name, and then the brown chick can be Shitless by L7.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
Let's see what you've done there.
all but 2. I don't think I've named the pink one or the grey one, but the grey would be easy. Naming them all after songs. So
yeah.
Blue Jean, Purple Haze, Orange Crush, Yellow Ledbetter. Yeah, they're all good. Yeah. They're all done, and I'm happy. They're
nailed it.
So I finished one team of 12. You finished 17 teams of 7.
No,
I think it's fair.
I haven't painted the whole roster, and watch it go back. Like this happened with my high owls, I will go back to add more players. Like I'll decide I want an extra couple of skinks for Journeyman and a chameleon for the lizards, and I will never be able to replicate that color scheme again.
It's always the way. That's why I painted all 12 at once.
Yeah, I should have, but I wanted them done.
Yeah. Also fair.
Anywho.
All right. So that was us. I mean, we obviously win the competition. So
that's how this works. I will say I actually really dig the Elven Union, the way you've done the white armor, but also because they've got the Harlequin masks as well, right? They look kind of like it kind of removes their humanity a little bit. Like they're definitely not quite. It makes them creepier. That's my point.
The elf heads, like some of them have sort of face masks on.
Yeah.
So I could have used those in a pinch, but then I'm dealing with hair as opposed to the weird mohawks that some of the Harlequins have.
Yeah. No, I dig this infinitely more because it makes them look kind of it's not quite like they're not quite human. They're not quite like a bit creepy. They definitely want to play a game.
Otherworldly.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah. Anyway, so we had a couple of entries. So, as per the usual for these sort of painting events, we like to dedicate a bit of time to the people that have dedicated their time to us and joined in on this. So, all of the pictures, I'm pretty sure all of the pictures ended up in Discord.
They're definitely in Discord.
Some of them were on Facebook as well, but I think we're just going to go through on the Discord. I did double check, so if I missed anyone, it was totally on purpose. Speaking of missing people, last painting event, we did miss somebody, or we disqualified him, one of the two, I can't remember. So we dedicated a whole episode. So let's start with Clinton. He is the first entry, inverted commas.
Yeah. I used to like Clinton.
Yeah, something's happened to him recently.
He used to be cool. He's changed.
He's a different man. Clinton had a bit of a joke and showed us a picture of a base, and then showed us a picture of the base with a line painted on it.
Not even a particularly straight line, I will add.
We didn't put that as a prerequisite.
I didn't. Again, I don't want to discriminate, but I feel like if you put some effort in, buddy. Yeah, so he did a line, man.
Yes. Cool.
Yeah. Well done, I did like a few of the models he had in the background of that picture, but none of them were linemen. So
none of them made it into the competition. So disqualified.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you for at least putting a picture in. Secondly, in a similar form, Crotonhurst on the Discord, Anthony did a picture of a lineman in what I'm guessing is MS Paint.
Sure. Do they still use MS? I don't know if they've changed the name. Yeah, but that.
It's an impressive lineman.
He definitely used a mouse. Like he didn't try to touchpad with the laptop for sure. He's really upped his paint skills.
Mm-hmm.
It is a man drawn with lines.
Is it more or less painted than his actual team in the league?
Well, given he stuck his team 2 bases the day of his last game.
So currently it's more painted than his team.
Well, it's 0 painted. It was in paint, so I suppose it's
got 2 colours on it.
Yeah.
3 if you count white. Yeah, anyway.
Also disqualified.
But thanks for the lols. Let's get to some real entries now. So we had a couple of people that posted pictures and then didn't finish. Gertzie, I'm looking at you. Anthony. So
yes.
Anthony has painted. Anthony is... We were talking about this off here. He's too nice for his own good. Lovely guy. He is way too talented as a painter as well. So this is a hobgoblin is this from his Chaos Dwarfs team that he's currently running? Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful blue skin, yellow cap, and I always dig the whole yellow-blue combination. And it works really well here, especially with the skin.
Yes. Yeah, and it's just this... he's pulled out a really solid yellow, like it stands out. Which I really dig about it because he's got a pretty it's the blue on the skin is kind of cool because it's almost like a paley blue, like it actually passes as skin, right? Like fantasy skin. My skin is not that color, but you believe that it could be a skin tone, but then he's got this super bright yellow that just jumps out at you as well, which I really dig.
It makes the whole thing pop. I love the base as well. Like, I know it's just fairly simple, but just ties in with the brown on the base, ties in with the blue on the skin.
Yeah. And it means that you look at the model, like you don't look at the base. And, I've been guilty of that before, where you spend a lot of time on a base and then no one actually knows what the hell's standing on it. Whereas he's done the exact right thing, and he's just put enough that it looks good. It looks like it could be a grotty ass Blood Bowl pitch. But
the white rim as well, is that...
I'm trying to
something
remember.
I'm not used to. I'm not used to seeing white rims on bases, but the white rim actually does the same thing. It draws your eye more to the model than the base itself.
I mean, we know my thoughts on coloured rims.
That they should all be goblin green. Is that your thought?
Fucking silly. I mean, as much as 1997 was a good year, I think you're right. In this case, like the white, very similar to doing just like a black or a grey or a brown or another neutral colour rim. Like you look at the model. The rim of the base is very much not there, and it's super cool. But even like flicking through this now, I actually really dig the kind of coppery color he's done on the armor too. I don't know what color that is, but it's nice to see something that isn't just straight gold, silver, take your pick. Like he's picked something a little bit, and again, because I feel like if you had done gold as an example right next to yellow, it could have been a little bit much.
He's got a big ass shoulder blade next to his hood.
Yeah. Right next to it. I think he's done a bit of a gold rim like on it, but again, it doesn't really take it away. And look, I'm just looking at it now, and it actually, what I'm really digging is there is kind of the way he shaded it or highlighted. I don't know which way he's done it, right? But there's like a ridge on the middle of his shoulder pad that looks like it makes it look so much more three-dimensional. The way that there is that really obvious ridge across the shoulder pad, it gives it that depth as well. It gives it some really natural shine. I had to zoom in to work out whether he was using metallics or he'd just gone batshit crazy with non-metallics. But it's metallic, but it's just really well done.
Yeah, I love it. It's just very impressive. It sucks when somebody's such a nice guy and paints so much better than you do. So.
Stop it. Yeah, can't have it all. Stop it.
Please. Thank you, Anthony.
I hear he's shit in bed. No.
I told you that in confidence.
I cannot substantiate that claim.
All right, moving right along after that. Dylan. So Dylan has done a snotling. Is it a snotling or is it a goblin? Looks like a snotling.
It is a snotling, which is weird because he was running goblins at ASG, but I think this isn't the same scheme. And I don't know whether he's used snotling models in his goblin team or this is just the same scheme. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to understand the mind of Dylan. That's probably in the best interest of everybody.
Yes, nobody wants to understand Dylan's mind. However, Dylan's painting, my God, it's come a long way, hasn't it?
He has leveled up.
Like he's leveled up and then leveled up again, and like he's on sort of epic tier compared to what he was. Not to say that he was bad; he was just having fun. And now he's definitely taking it seriously because there are layers and highlights, especially on that face, those ears.
Yeah, it's
green skin, blue loincloth. Yeah, but that green skin, it's how many different shades of green are in there?
Yeah, he's played that well, where he's really played the recesses he's picked, the points he wants to have highlighted. He's done all those kind of things, and then even like little bits like the eye socket, you can kind of see the red around the eyes, the tongue looks highlighted, like it's a little bit shiny and wet.
Yep.
I super dig it. I actually really dig the kind of greeny, bluey, tealy color he's gone for the loincloth too, because again, it's not too far away from the skin and it ties into the base. Like it's this really nice bridging color that creates a real point of difference. It's obviously a different color, but it's in this instance, like he doesn't want everyone staring at the goblin's crotch, let's be honest.
No.
So, you know, it's literally the opposite to the last one we're talking about. It's that piece that you don't want it to stand out too much, and he's picked a great color to give it enough difference without making everybody just stare at the goblin's crotch, says the guy staring at the goblin's crotch.
I can't take my eyes away now.
Oh, it's glorious. And again, he's highlighted, he's literally highlighted like that there's a little hole in it, and he's highlighted the top or just the bottom light, the bit that the light would actually catch on it, which is super cool. I also am going to talk about just bases that work. And again, I'm not sure exactly what he's used. Like it doesn't look like regular sand. I'm going to say that's one of the AK textures. But again, it's got this kind of almost bluey, greeny shade to the red dirt, which I really dig. And again, just ties everything together. The other thing that Dylan has gone next level with his theme too. And he's done this, he got a little bit excited. And Dylan is the guy that shows up to a Blood Bowl game with props to try and counter his team, to the point where we were played the semi-finals of the last season and the grand final in the same night, and he bought props for every one of his potential matchups.
Yep.
So yeah, there was all kinds of stuff that he had researched that he'd brought, you know, to counter the team, because something about rats don't like whatever he brought.
Yep.
And although he brought holy water for a vampire team, you see where we're going with this. Anywho, the story with his team, and I can't remember the name of them, right? But it was the Tequila Slammers. That's right. And then, so he didn't want to get racially insensitive and do the sombreros and shit on them, right? He didn't want to go silly with it, but he wanted to theme it. So what he did is he goes, all right, well, this plant that they use and whatnot only grows in the area that they make actual tequila from, and it's this kind of bluey greeny color. So he went and found like a static grass, like a little tuft, basically the same color as that plant, and then he tried to match the color of the dirt from that area. And then when he showed up with his team from ASG, he showed up with a bottle of tequila. And he went full next level. I dig it.
What I like about that grass tuft as well is that it's the same color as the loincloth almost.
And it ties almost.
It ties it back in. The only, like, I mean, I get the theme with the base, that it's, to me it looks more like a 40k base than a Blood Bowl base.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I dig the theme. I dig.
It's amateur league Blood Bowl. Remember, he's playing 7. So
that's true.
Have you seen some amateur sports pitches? Like,
yeah, no,
they're not well maintained.
Hopefully, a bit better than this, but
it's just a bit muddy. I mean, they're goblins. How much do they care?
Yeah, no, awesome work, Dylan. Like, I love the face too. Just really, those different shades of green just really make it pop. And that's what you've got to do, especially with a Snotling model, where there's not an awful lot of model and there's not an awful lot of accessories, or, you know, no armor, all that sort of stuff that you'd find on almost any other model. So you've got to make that skin pop because he's pretty much all skin and loincloth.
I mean, aren't we all really, when you get down to it?
All right, next up, Alice. I'm going to let you talk about this because I don't
Stop
think I
it.
can,
I mean,
like, for conflict of interest.
I was about to say this is a bit of a self-reflection moment for you. So for
Let's
those
give the
playing at
theme
home,
first. So the theme is that she's got an Imperial nobility team, and what she has decided to do is
through
to
no coaxing
no, this
or
is all her. She is painting up that team to represent the players of the league. So, there's a James model, there's a Dylan model, there's a Jace model. She's chosen all of these players to match a theme, and she's going to paint them like the person. However, so the one that she has entered is,
which
it's one of
is
my favorite Imperial nobility. It's probably my favorite one. The guy with the pipe.
it's the only one I've painted too.
True, it's the one that you won the competition with.
Yeah,
Which one was that? It was
that
last
was
year, wasn't it?
that was the Blood Bowl painting competition that Johnny,
Yeah.
who ran Big V, put together. That was good fun. So it was the sort of official model you had to paint for that, but she's done that and she's gone next level. I mean, she's gone full Alice,
Yeah,
except for the fact that she said she couldn't find all her flower tusks, so her base is not as flowery as she would have appreciated. But I actually think that's a good thing.
it looks like an overgrown Blood Bowl pitch.
Yeah, I dig it too. Someone just hasn't mowed it in a while. It looks like my backyard, to be fair.
I did mine the other day. It doesn't look like mine.
Yeah,
A couple of
it
days
happens
ago,
too fast.
mine was like 3 times its length. But anyway,
Yeah.
go on.
Anywho, so this particular lineman, the pipe lineman,
Mm-hmm.
the bearded pipe lineman,
Yep.
the inaugural model for her People of the League team. I was going to say there's a whole extraordinary gentleman kind of theme going here that I kind of want to run with, but we'll get back to that. That has an uncanny resemblance to a certain co-host of a podcast.
Is it just the beard?
I mean,
Like, he looks a lot fitter than I am.
I wasn't going to say it.
It looks like he'd last a little bit longer on a Blood Bowl pitch than I would. But yeah, the beard, the shades of purple in the beard are very representative.
I've got it open on one screen and I've got your video open on the other.
Which one's which?
I'm like, oh. I actually really dig. It also looks like he is staring like literally off to one side. Like he's got this full, like he's standing front on, but the eyes are over here. Like he's just spotted someone barreling at him from down the pitch.
He's ready.
Like,
he's got his pipe in. He's ready.
Yeah. It's just like, this is not my first rodeo. I dig it. But anyway, enough about who it was modelled off because that was only going to lose her points.
Or gain her, depending on which one of us is voting. The model itself, like, this is very typical Alice. It's very pastel. There's pinks and light blues, and
yeah,
I mean the feathers are fantastic.
She's gone full Alice, but she's gone full Alice in a super kind of painterly approach. There are brush strokes. There is, really clear sort of highlight and shade pieces, but she hasn't really stressed about the blending on this. That being said, there's a whole bunch of stuff that is kind of blended underneath, and then she's just thrown highlights over the top. There's this really kind of deliberate, I'm putting the paintbrush here and I'm going in this direction, and that is to show that here is the shine, or here is the scratch, or here is the and that's super cool. Like I really dig it when people aren't afraid to show brush strokes. They aren't, they aren't worried about everything. I feel like sometimes we get so sucked into everything has to be blended so super smoothly for it to be correct, and there is so many other ways to play this game or
To
paint
me,
these models.
it really looks like, and this is probably in direct contrast to what Imperial Nobility are all about. Like, they're supposed to be the snobs and the guys with the golden armor and the well dressed gentleman. Like, this guy looks like he's played Blood Bowl.
Yes, but also I would also suggest that he kind of looks like a Monet painting of a Blood Bowl player. Like it's that kind of semi-impressionistic kind of idea that it's like, yeah, you could see this as this kind of, piece of Blood Bowl artwork that someone had in their very fancy house. Which I kind of dig. It's not sitting next to the dogs playing poker.
The colors really do it. It's. I mean, it's very Alice. Alice always paints stuff different to other people. It's that is a good thing. I mean, it's the eye that she has and the way that she paints, like the pastel purple on the base rim, tying in with the armor and the gloves and that. It's pretty.
Yeah,
and not because it looks
nice.
like me. Like, it's prettier than I look.
I mean, that's a low bar.
Absolutely.
But again, the green through the blue, through the purple, through the pink on the feathers is super cool. I actually really dig on, if you look at its left shoulder pad, or it's right, actually, they both have it right, but the left one's more obvious, right? So he's wearing a pink helmet. And then if you look at the shoulder pad, there is like a pink reflection on the side that the helmet is on, and then the other side is like a blue reflection, which is, I'm assuming, the natural kind of metal enamel finish. But it's that kind of stuff where you get that kind of ambient bounce lighting and stuff like that, which I really dig as well. There's a lot of thought being into it. It's such a different approach. It is such an approach. Like, you see an Alice piece and you know Alice has painted it, and I think that's a good thing.
Yep.
Like,
I literally cannot wait to see this team fully done.
I know, I'm super keen to. I'm mildly nervous, but I'm super keen. I'm also not 100% sure if the backdrop of her photo is a toilet bowl.
I'm pretty sure it's not. I couldn't tell you what it is, but
no,
like, it's on.
I mean, she's clearly
table or something.
Yeah, but you see where
I see where you're going.
Yeah, I'm looking with this, and I'm like, that is risky. I would not put any of my models that close, just in case for an accidental slip. We've all lost a phone before. Come on.
I have recently, and it's still giving me trouble.
Yeah, no. Sometimes the rice doesn't do it.
No, it's an Alice piece. You guys that have joined in on our paint events, and we don't like to call them paint competitions because we don't necessarily want to. We don't want to discourage anyone from joining. So it's not about who paints it best; it's who fits the theme best. But Alice time and time again churns out models like this that just catch us completely. Not by surprise, but like, they're just they're very Alice. They're very different to anyone else. And definitely a good thing.
All right.
Okay, moving on. Last one. So Samara. Now, Samara, knowing Samara, she is a bit of a rabbit lover. That seems to be.
I mean, I was going to say fanatic or.
Now, you printed this off for her, didn't you?
Yes.
So tell me about the team, first of all.
So the team is super cool. It is, I mean, you could make it pretty much whatever you want, but I'm pretty sure it's designed to be like a chaos chosen team.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all bunnies, which is adorable. So you have little bunny kind of gore, and they're just a little bit angry, and they've got horns, and then there are other ones that have helmets and things, and then there's like a giant bunny tour, and he's got like pecs and a six pack and stuff. So they're adorable. Is the moral of the story here? They are a little bit small. They're a little bit cute or chibi, or take your style. You kind of get the approach. If you've seen any of the Accutimal teams from Grebo, it's a very similar style. And I kind of need to find an excuse to find a team that I really want to use them for at some point, because they are adorable. But yeah, this was literally lineman. I mean, I want to paint something. It needs to be a lineman, but also bunnies are my thing, and it fits. It's just the perfect. It's like the stars aligned. Venus was in retrograde, and all those things.
Yeah. So this bunny is not obviously one of the bigger ones or the bunny tour or anything like that. It's just a stock standard bunny that's just lopsided ears, staring at you with absolutely demonic looking eyes.
He's terrifying. It's one of those things where you're, cute little bunny. Actually, funny bunny related story. When I was a kid, Mum and Dad bought a house literally 2 doors down from the house that we were currently living in. So we moved via wheelbarrow. But when we moved into that house, we didn't know at the time, but it came with a rabbit. And that's because the rabbit escaped from the owner, the hutch type situation that the owner had it in, escaped into the backyard, and no one was game to catch it.
Okay.
So this rabbit lived under the house for any amount of time, and you just put a bowl of food out and the occasional sacrifice, and it didn't eat you. I did legitimately see this rabbit, and it was big, and it was like you couldn't catch it or like wash it or clean it or do anything. So it was a little bit matted and a little bit feral, and was white with the red eyes. And I legitimately saw this chase children with the intent to gore. And I feel like I'm getting a look from this rabbit, the same that I used to get a look from, and now it's coming to me, Isabella. Now, we didn't name the rabbit. We inherited the rabbit. But Isabella was a killer.
As you would be. Looking at this model, she's done pink fur, which is props. Absolutely with us. We've done paint events where we've asked for people to paint pink. She's still going with that theme, which I love. But it's, the back of the model, you got a cute little white tail. You've got the demonic horns sticking out of its head, but a relatively sort of solid pink, light color, which looks from behind, barring the horns, looks like the cutest rabbit you'll probably ever see.
Adorable, barring giant demonic horns.
Yeah. The front, that's where shit gets crazy.
This bunny be angry. And I will just call out before we get to the crazy ass front, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing like a light color that honestly doesn't cover well on a big flat area that doesn't give you any forgiving space. Like you will see brush strokes and stuff. That is smooth. Like it's
very smooth.
Rock solid for what is fundamentally not easy to get right.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows up mistakes, and I'm not seeing them. That is a win.
I like that. The back of that looks absolutely spot on, perfect to be this cute little bunny. I'm not seeing any brush strokes, anything like that. It just looks really good.
The front.
So we've talked about the demonic eyes, the yellow and orange eyes with that black, soulless pupil staring at you. But then there's more. Like
There is so much. So
she's
it's
got the
gone for that
white.
whole, the little, that's where I was going. This
Yeah.
adorable little, and you could see where this bunny was once cute and someone pissed it off.
Mhm.
Because there's a little white paws and a little white little hippity hops
Mhm.
that he would bounce around, but they are stained. They are tainted. They are
Yeah.
a little bit muddy. A little Bunny got his hands dirty. Is the
Mhm.
moral of the story here, and it's clear that this is not his first rodeo either.
No. He's been doing this for a while. Yeah, the dirt on the paws, like even at the stomach,
Mhm.
looks to me like there's white
That's-
there.
Yeah.
But
And then he's been kind of dragging his little crotch on the ground.
Mhm.
He's been teabagging someone into the mud. That's what I reckon's going on here.
He's got a scab on his knees. Well, when
Yeah.
he's been doing it, and
Yeah.
he looks like he's well fed.
Yeah, I actually also really appreciate that the way the dirt has been like put on there. Like he's got dirt in between his little toes.
Mhm.
It's really obvious that yes, there's dirt on him, but there's some in between. And then we work up to the mouth and
Yes.
the little line of dark red kind of bloodstainy drippiness
Mhm.
coming out where he is. Was that it's Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy
Yes.
Grail where they have the you see where I'm at. I see what's
There
happened
he
to me.
is. What behind
Yeah.
the rabbit? He is
Yeah.
the rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely, definitely vibes from that. The blood drip, it just sort of, he's fed, but he's not a very clean eater.
No. He's been fed, but his hunger has not been sated. There's the problem here.
And that bloodline all over the mouth, and then there's that cute little nose.
Yeah, just want to boop it. It's.
But you can see what happened to the last person that did that.
It's a little sign on his base. Boop at own risk. I love it. It is all of the things that I love about these cute teams. It's just this kind of contradiction of
Mhm.
adorable death that is all of the right things. And I feel like that nice little soft pastel-y pink color is perfect.
Yes.
Just right. I feel like
she's done it perfectly.
it won't stop looking at me.
Move on. Scroll from the picture to what I've done. Those eyes, man, I'll be seeing those eyes in my dreams. Anyway, that was all the entries we had. A few less than our usual painting events, but obviously, applying to the Blood Bowl players amongst us, or some of the Blood Bowl players, let's say. So we want to thank everyone, apart from Clinton, that entered the competition. Really appreciate all your work and just getting behind us. And look, we usually will give out a couple of awards. Not, as I said, not necessarily for the best painted, but for the one that captured the theme of the event the best. Is there anything you want to say before we get into that?
No. As I said, these things are often a way for us to encourage us to paint.
Mm-hmm.
And just to get some more hobby done, because honestly, seeing people paint stuff like this and seeing people get involved about doing a thing gets me excited about doing a thing. I like jumping on a bandwagon, and if I have to create a bandwagon to jump on, I'm all for that, really. But it is that thing that sort of just that group excitement or that group kind of thing gets me going. So I really appreciate everyone who's just posted, commented, got involved at all, because it just keeps my motivation high, which I really dig.
I mean, that's the whole reason we started the podcast in the first place, was to get ourselves motivated and get us, get those games happening, get the hobby happening. But it's so much easier. I mean, it's easier for me with you motivating and encouraging me along. But when we run these sort of things and get other people involved as well, it's a whole nother world. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you. As such, because we only had a couple of entries, and let's face it, they were all really good.
Yeah, I don't want to pick.
We're not going to pick. So all four of you guys, so Samara, Alice, Dylan, Anthony, we will be in contact and we'll have a little prize for each and every one of you. So thank you again for joining us on this little ride.
I'll put it away. I thought about what prizes we could offer, and I have a tub of Vaseline sitting on my painting desk for sculpting purposes, but it just seemed appropriate. Anyway.
I'm talking and I look up and you're just shoving Vaseline in the camera. I'm like, okay.
I found a prize. Anyway.
Didn't know it was that kind of competition. All right. First of all, let's talk about what's on. We obviously run, little events like this, little competitions. Try to do it each and every month. We will be chucking one up. I have something in mind that I will chuck up tonight or tomorrow. So before this podcast airs, there will be something on Facebook that you can get involved in and possibly win yourself something. No painting required this time. Secondly, we have Patreons. And by all means, we are not a professional podcast. We're not a good podcast. Like we said, we do this for our own benefit and to get us hobby time and game time and all that sort of stuff. But we do thank the people that, for some reason, like this show and will give us money.
Or at least tell us that they like it.
And all the Patreons, their money is what buys these prizes for all our competitions. So we want to thank them, and we do run a monthly little giveaway that only Patreons can win, and I have run that. I have the video all up and ready, but I wanted to announce it here first before I put that up. So congratulations go to Alice for winning this month's Patreon giveaway. We will be in contact with you about that. But thank you all to all patrons. Like I said, that's run every month, and we will continue to do so. The other thing I want to mention, Thoughtless Bowl 3.
Oh, let's mention that more. Say it again. Say it again.
Thoughtless Bowl 3.
Oh.
Why so serious? So, by now, you may have seen all the details for Thoughtless Bowl 3 go up. So, it has been announced. The players pack is up November 12th. Throw the dice. We will be running is it third or fourth event for the year?
Well, I mean, it's the third Thoughtless Bowl.
Yeah, was Thoughtless Bowl 1 this year?
I don't know. That was a long time ago. Maybe.
Feb. Yeah, no, Feb, May. This is our fourth event this year.
Yeah, that's 1 1/4.
Go us.
All
Wow.
right.
All right. So, after All Systems Go, which we ran not that long ago, Thoughtless Bowl 3, we are back. This is all organised, all the prizes, everything's organised by us. This is another Sevens tournament, but this is a different one. This is probably not like any Sevens event you have been to before. The
I really
players
hope
back
it's
it up.
not.
I hope it's not. That's what we're promoting it as. So hopefully...
Save us from the false advertising lawsuit is the moral of the story.
Anyway, the players pack, like I said, is up. We already have 9 players paid, and we are 2 months away.
Yeah, we got time.
Not even, a bit over 2 months away. So to have 9 players already is huge, and we are hoping that this is going to be the biggest event we've run.
Odd numbers, odd numbers, odd numbers.
Chase is desperate for a game. What we are doing is, unlike most other events, there are no prizes for first, no prizes for second, no prizes for third. There are multiple prizes up for grabs, depending on how you want to play.
For other stuff.
Things that you do in the games that will get you points to potentially win one, if not more, of these prizes. For example, the most successful fouls in the day, the most crowd surfs, things like that. Any ties will come down to the number of touchdowns, so people should still be trying to score. But
there's some more interesting stuff to do, right?
Yes.
I mean, we keep getting told that Blood Bowl is no longer a passing game, and passing doesn't work in Blood Bowl. So most passes, successful passes. There you go. There's a thing you can try to do. Test that theory. I'm super keen just to see there's a best stunty, so there is still an option. If you want to try and play for wins, but take a stunty team, and we've given you lots of stunty team options.
We've given you so many options.
There's even one that doesn't actually work according to the rules, but so in my defense, when I was looking for options to put in stunty teams, right, the name of the positional in the Orc roster is Goblin Lineman.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's just because that's what it's called in a Goblin team, and it's basically the same, right? But in an Orc roster, they are a position.
Yep.
So you can only take 4 of them.
Okay.
So an Orc stunty team with 4 goblins and nothing else doesn't work. But I am actually, if you really want to take goblins as your stunty team, and you don't want to run the goblin team with all of the goblin goodness, and you just want to run regular vanilla goblins with maybe a troll in an Orc roster, I'll allow it. Because that's fucking silly.
I mean, technically, you can just do a goblin team with just stock standard goblins.
That's why I'm saying. But if you want to run them as orcs, go nuts. I don't know why you would. Because then you can't run any of the secret weapons. You can't run any of the things. So that was one of the very first questions that they came, and I went, "Oh yeah, I didn't read that all the way through, did I?"
This is the kind of stupidity that we love and encourage.
Also, this is just how you crowdsource your proofreading. I'm calling it efficient.
Excellent. There's the theme. But yeah, Thoughtless Bowl 3, it's happening. We are excited. We've been itching about this for a while.
It is hopefully going to be just also a way, right? Because often Blood Bowl tournaments can be like brain frying, right? Mm-hmm. It's a tactical game. It's a complex game. You play it under the clock. You've got there's a lot of decent players around too, right? This hopefully takes a little bit of the pressure off and lets people just bust some games out and have a laugh and just chill. It's November. It's basically Christmas, so just come out and have some giggles.
It's gonna be Thoughtless Bowl 3 is shits and giggles. The other thing I will mention is that all the stuff in the players pack is not all the stuff that we have prepared. So there is more coming, and you're only going to find out about that on the day.
Yeah. So I think the we do give you a little bit of a warning, because I don't want you to rock up ready for some serious Blood Bowl and then find out we're there to just fuck with your day. Because that's what we're there for. So we do give a little bit of a heads up in the players pack, but basically fully expect some extra rules,
stuff,
provisos, guidelines to happen.
Stuff's going to happen. Yeah. And God, yeah, it's going to be fun. Anyway, that's about it for me. You got anything else?
No, I'm so pumped about Thoughtless Bowl. I'm sitting in meetings at work. I really hope no one from work listens to this. People from work does. With like going through roster options and what I could take and all of the things. I'm just think it's fun. But that's me. I don't have anything else. Thanks everyone again for entering our Thoughtless Linepeople event. That again got me painting. I'm super keen. Hopefully got some other people painting as well. Play some sevens with us. Calm down and play Thoughtless Bowl. It'll be silly. I want it to be the biggest one yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, thanks for listening. By all means, give us a follow. Facebook, Spotify, Podbean, Twitch, all the usuals, not Twitter, not Snapchat.
Not TikTok.
Not TikTok.
They are a delicious biscuit, though. An underrated snack.
Oh, yeah. Jump in our Discord. We have so much chat going on there at the moment. It's been great.
Can we create, I mean, have we got a Thoughtless Bowl channel? Because I don't want to clog up our general Blood Bowl channel with my list ideas.
I can do one right now. Easy done.
I reckon we need one for just stupid ass list ideas because I will clog otherwise.
Done.
There it is.
Simple as that.
I'm going to clog that one.
All right, you clogged that one. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for everyone that entered. Appreciate it. Laters.
Catch ya.
Thoughtless, casual gaming. Thoughtless, casual